Hello, my name is John O'Connell and I lead the SML Photo Club for SMAC. As you know, many of the SMAC activities have been canceled or postponed because of the current situation. And SMAC is looking for a way to help the community deal with, give them some ideas and offer some outlet for their artistic endeavors or just to view something from the neighborhood. And so they put up this SMAC-Tubes page. And the photo club would like to just put up a few short videos that would prompt you to get up and take some photos. Everyone is a photographer. You may have a camera, but all of you have cell phones with excellent cameras in them. And spring is here. There are a lot of opportunities to make some lovely photos right outside your door or close by. Talk about f-stops and composition, things of that nature. I want to just point out we're all creatures of habit. We all take pictures basically the same way. We stand on our feet and we look at something and pull out our camera and click. So what I'm trying to do here is basically I'm not trying to have you think outside of the box. I'm basically saying throw that box away and we're going to scrap it all together and think of creating something totally different about taking a photo. Now, I walked outside, looked at my wife's garden, and she's got some lovely irises growing. And if I were to stand there and take this picture, just walk up and take a picture of the iris, what would I see? I have these ugly patches in the lawn. Our lawn is mainly weeds. You've got this terrible light back here because it's so bright. And of course, I'm shooting the irises here in open shade. This is the outline of the house. The sun is going down, and this soft light would be very effective to shoot these very delicate colors in these irises. How strange is this? Here's a photo of, to show you how I set this up. This is a painting. I bought it at a yard sale for $1, I think. It's not very appealing, but I bought it because it's not very sharp. It's kind of muted colors, and I will put this down behind a photo to create my own background. So I've effectively put something into this. I'm crafting this photo. You don't see a bald spot in the lawn. You don't see the weeds. Actually, your eye focuses mainly on the brighter flower. The one that's out of focus in the foreground, it just gives you in more depth. But you do see the iris and you see the bud and the colors and whatnot behind them are much better than the brilliant sun. And by the way, there's a road not too far out of there that shooting down low here, you would have seen the road and the houses next door, etc. One of the things we stress at the photo club is to remind people, once you've found a subject, something that you wanted to take a photo of, just don't take one. If it's worth taking one picture, it's worth taking a couple. Walk around, get a different angle, move here higher, lower, etc. Take the photo. Digital film is cheap, and you don't know which one you'll like the best till you sit down and start to review. Here's a photo that I deployed that painting on, and the reason why was there was a tree trunk right behind. Actually, the painting is leaning on a tree trunk. So I basically isolated the flower with a muted background, and I think it works. It was a bit of fun. That's what it's all about. You may have a photo somewhere in your house or a painting or anything that basically would give a faux look in a background, a book page opened up, something. Again, if it's worth taking a photo, take a couple. Move in closer, stand taller, lower, different angles, take the photo, and then review them when you put them on your computer screen. Another photo with that painting behind it. In this case, this plant is actually inside the house, and the light is coming from a sliding door. And, there's all kinds of it's basically off the kitchen. So I put this behind the flower, and I've removed the kitchen. Here's a print that I had picked up at the Discover store for $1 or two. Actually, I bought it because I wanted the white foam board that it was mounted against. And I wanted to photograph my latest orchids that bloomed. And right behind the orchid, again, I'm using natural light coming in from a sliding door. The plant is basically on the edge of a dining room table. And behind the plant is a light switch, a door frame, and a wall. And I wanted to remove all of that. It still is a little busy for a background, but it's not my kitchen and dining room. So here is a photo that I made specifically to make a background. I've not printed it yet, but as you can see, it's just basically colors. I mean, if you don't have a picture that you wanted to put behind a subject like a flower, and you had a piece of cardboard and you have some spray paint from old projects, you could basically create a background that is dark at, and with some randomized color. Here you can see I have an orchid and I have a black background, and this black background is basically a card stock. This one is actually flocked with black, but it's black and it's dull. It doesn't reflect any light, and you get a very fine art look. Again, just adding a simple background here, the black, all the attention is focused on the subject, and you don't see the kitchen. But again, I'm using natural light coming in through a window. In the fall, there's a lot of desiccated weeds, etc., out and about. I grabbed these because they have unique structure and patterns, and I wanted to photograph them. I also shot them or converted it to black and white. Most of your cameras, even your cell phones, will have the ability to take a picture and change it to black and white. By the way, the background on both of those photos was a simple white paper plate. Again, you can see that I'm using the black card. By the edge of the card, you can see the back of the kitchen wall. And I'm using it again with natural light coming in from the window, but not strong and direct, so that you get the subtlety of the color. Here I've got a rose that it basically is at the end of its life, but I just found the color attractive to me. It's pretty. I know the green's drying up, etc., but with the background there, it just pops out, and I like the photo. I will occasionally pick a wildflower. Again, I'm looking to control the background. These are very small. I don't know what they're called. They're not a buttercup, but I just thought it was pretty. I grabbed a couple, quickly ran in the house, put them in water because wildflowers, believe me, I know, you take more than a few minutes to hydrate them and they just droop over. But anyway, this photo worked for me. And again, I just had a plain paper background. So mind your background. If it's busy, distracting, or just boring, improvise with anything that you can put in place to remove the problem and focus attention on your subject. The point is to have fun with photography, and your pictures should be what you like. You're not taking them for the world. And if you do find a subject of interest, take a few photos. Walk around at different angles and experiment and have some fun. I hope you've gotten some ideas from this video, and I'm going to post a few more short videos that basically use them for stimulation. Creativity comes from basically getting an idea and running with it. Thank you for watching.